Hi, thanks for joining today. This is Mike with Mountpac. Today I am going to be, um, I had a bolt that broke, and so I call it an easy out, but that's maybe not necessarily the term. It's more probably like a helicoil type thing. So I broke one of my bolts for my shock, and so I had to drill it out and tap it in and put a new stud in there instead of a bolt, which it works fine now. So this is kind of what I did, and it's just kind of showing you what I did. And I hope you learned something. And don't forget to like this video and then subscribe to my channel. And here, let's get started here. So I tried to drill a hole and then kind of do an easy out, and it failed. And so what I'm doing now is I'm drilling the broken bolt, and then after I use the step down drill bit, I'm going to use a regular drill bit. I just want to not try, or I want to try not to harm the threads if possible. So I used a smaller step down first. The nice thing is there was a pretty good sized room underneath when I was doing this. This is a shock for a Jeep Cherokee. When I was replacing the lift kit, it broke off when I was taking off the shock. Also, I have video for the lift kit as well. So I'm trying to do kind of an easy out type of a deal here. It's really not working the greatest. And sorry about the pauses. I'm changing out bits and stuff, and now I just opted to use just a regular drill bit to drill through all the way. And I know that it goes all the way because the other, the other side has a. Finally, I chose to drill through all the way. And then this will help me do the helicoil so I can actually get some threads in there, and then I'm going to put a stud up in there. And so, I wish I showed you all the parts and pieces. So this is the piece that goes in. It cuts the metal, so there's threads, and then that what causes a hole in threads so the helicoil could go in and have a better thread for the stud. And it kind of has some slits, so when you're cutting the metal has somewhere to go, and then it's kind of relieved so it won't cut up the actual metal you're doing. So with the fast forward, it looks like it's going quicker than it actually is, but once it starts going, it's pretty easy to cut through. And then after that, there's a special tool that you use when you're using the helicoil. And so you put the thread on that special tool, and then I'm tightening it up. And then usually at the end, you put the cross T on there so you have some torque to screw that helicoil into this thing that you're going into. I've done this with spark plug holes on heads with the Type 3 or Volkswagen air-cooled engines, but those are usually, the heads are usually off the engine, and no metal shavings go inside the engine. And so there you go. I put it in, and then luckily I had a stud that fit. And we'll put that stud in there.
And then I have a washer and a nut that goes along with that stud. Oh, and I've also done this on my heads, or not so much the engine cases, but my heads that for a Volkswagen Beetle, sometimes the um, exhaust does get broken off, and so I have to do this quite regularly on heads, and it works really well. And this stud that I used, it has an Allen wrench or hex head, so I can actually tighten up the stud as it goes in. There's other methods, but oftentimes it messes up the threads. I didn't want to do that. So here's the shock that I'm putting on. And this is the rest is just showing you how it's repaired and just as good as the other equipment, the original equipment. So now I'm just going over installing the nuts and bolts and installing the shock. I'm just showing you how easy it is. I would say this probably took hour and a half just to figure out how to put the hole into the.
So pretty much the rest of the video is just me tightening this up. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I hope that this has helped you in the future in case you have a rusty bolt that you accidentally broken, busted when you were trying to remove it. I've done this many times, and it worked many times, mostly on engine components, but this is just very similar to that. I hope that when you, or if you're in this issue, or you have ran into this problem where you're not able to install whatever you took off because of broken nut or stud or whatnot, that you'll be able to get that back on the road or whatnot, and that things will work out for you. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great day.